So I think we had this definition of remote sensing. Okay?
Yes.
It's the science of obtaining information about objects or areas from a distance. So the first one I'm going to talk to you about is Pakauke Lake in Alberta. This is when I was doing water resource consulting. So Pakauke Lake in southern Alberta, just in case you didn't know, in the south part of our province is very dry, sort of like a little bit like a goby. And so we actually, the farmers in the south irrigate a lot of the farmland. And I had to do a water basin study, a water model on this. This is actually a basin that is part of an irrigation system, but it is actually a dead-ended basin. It's one of the few basins that does not discharge out into the ocean. So we wanted to do a water balance because what happens with this lake is the water fills up. As I said, it's desert. The sun evaporates it, and then it becomes a salt pan at the end. So the water disappears as well by evaporation, not by. So my problem at that time, this is in the 80s, mid 80s, okay, and this was, I will explain to you, we were able to only get Landsat imagery from the Alberta government from the photo lab. Okay, we had to physically go and get a print. Okay, so my idea as a hydrologist was I wanted, if I could define the contours of Pakauke Lake or the extent of the flooding every year, how far it goes, I can try and calculate the water balance or the water model. Okay, the Landsat at that time I think does one pass every 18 days. And so I got to say that every time I went out to the photo lab and I looked at the, I could get the, what do you call it now, the satellite passes, right? The tracks. And so we picked the images, they get the images, and even though this was desert, I was not able to get a cloud-free image of Pakauke Lake. So my idea of being able to get the spring runoff volume, this boundary of where the water goes every few years so they can see the expansion and contraction was a failure trying to use remote sensing. Okay? It did not work because I was not able to get the image. It was always cloud covered. And at that time, they didn't have a long history of Landsat imagery that I could look at as well. Now, today is a little different because the Canadian government has things like RadarSat, satellites that can actually penetrate clouds. So if you're looking for water information or like lake information, it is possible today to do it. Plus, if you recall the SRTM project with the American Space Shuttle, I would be able to now make contour maps without having to go and get Landsat imagery anymore. I can map this area using the SRTM, DEM data. So in about 20, 30 years, the technology has changed and the solution is available today that was not available with remote sensing. Okay, so this is what I said. Even though it was a desert area, I could not get Landsat image without clouds in the critical time that I wanted. Moving ahead, when I started to go to Africa, at that time, you no longer had to just get photos or negatives that you made, contact prints of Landsat data. The Landsat people made deals with, I think some geo outfit. I could get the whole world on DVDs. This was before Google Earth. So I was able to actually purchase that information to use. So there's an index and you can find Mongolia or wherever you want around the world. Okay, and they actually processed a whole set of Landsat imagery to get cloud-free conditions for the whole world. So my intention was to use the Landsat imagery on my project in Africa. Okay, and that was to look at road network, mapping the road network and looking at water supply for the city of Kumbu of about 150,000 people. So at the time, that was Google Earth was available. However, many parts of the world is only available with the Landsat 30-meter imagery, 30-meter pixel. So it really meant that I could still not use it to map the roads because I can't see the roads unless it's a really big road. So at 30 meters, well, the other problem we discovered in Kumbo was that even though it was a city of 150,000 people, they only had about 2 kilometers of paved road. If they had a paved roads, you might be able to see the roads from the reflection. Okay? But as you can see, the roads is the same material as the earth around everything, so everything is brown. So the only way we could get the road network is to actually use GPS receivers. Oh, this just pictures, this is the municipal office staff, the mayor, and some of the senior staff from the municipality. Okay. And so this is a view from their municipal office. You can see the big cathedral, so the Christian cathedral over there. And of course, I was in a local bar drinking beer, and I had met a little friend. So just to see, with the municipal office, the picture we saw there earlier, this is now a more current. So after my project finished, I did all the work. 2 years later, I have high-resolution image of Kumbo. So I think you can see this is the big cathedral, the church. This is the municipal office. Since that time, they built a new office. Now, where the new office is here used to be the toilet in the field, a hole in the field. But they still don't have any much paved road, so the paved road is just this one here. The rest is still earth. Very bumpy, and in Africa, it's a red soil, and my boots were always covered with red dirt. And also, I used that for, we actually identified and mapped the water supplies while using it, but I couldn't find the file here. So we go to Panjwai, Kandahar, Afghanistan. So the Canadian government was part of NATO. So the Canadians had sent Canadian soldiers over to Afghanistan to fight with the Americans. So that's the military side, and then the Canadian government also, to support the military, is not just fighting and killing. The Canadian government decided to have a project for the civilian side. So part of the civilian objective was because the Canadian military was working in Panjwai. Panjwai is where actually the Taliban started in Afghanistan. So it was actually quite a tough area for the Canadians to work. So the Canadian government wanted to put some aid to, I guess, help the local villages and get them to support the allies, the NATO, instead of the Taliban. So we wanted the villagers to support their government rather than the rebels. To help the civilians, Canada had some project that I was involved in, and my project was on the irrigation and drainage side. I have to wear this hat, Taliban jacket, but underneath is my flak vest. So to give you some context, this is my room in the safe house. I have a safe house that I stay in. So this is my helmet, this is my flag vest, and this is my go bag. Do you know what a go bag is?
Go bag.
So if the Taliban attacks, I put my flag vest on, I put my helmet on, I grab, that's the only thing I can grab is my go bag, and I leave. So I don't know if you heard of Kandahar. This is where we were working, out of Kandahar. Anyway, I just want to show you, when I did this project, it was all remote sensing for me because Canadians cannot go to the field. So I had to hire a local Afghan company to do my surveying and to help me with the remote sensing. Okay, so to give you an idea, this is my friend Mohammed, who came from Kabul. Of interest to you maybe, he is what they call a Hazari. This is the tribe that descended from the Mongols. So he had to go out and survey, and every time he went out, there's a chance that they may get shot. Anyway, so this is the human part, right? So some of the work we're going to do is, this is the type of crops they have in the Kandahar region. So I had a UN model that I was using with an irrigation specialist, agricultural specialist, working on the water requirements for this area. Part of the work we did is, we did a pilot using Google Earth, and basically this is an example of some of the data we did, with classification. Okay, so very briefly, the red is the built-up area. Okay, this is some of the crops, I think wheat fields, classified wheat fields. So obviously this is now using Google Earth initially to do the digitizing and classification. So this was, we had to do the georeferencing, and then we can do the digitizing. Right? So this is very crude remote sensing. Later on, we got more detailed data. This is in CAD, and with the DEM, we were doing basic contours because I was designing a drainage canal. So we designed about a 9-kilometer drainage canal for the project. This is the profile of the drainage canal. This is using my software, my company's software. Okay, so we generate engineering drawings.